we'll see. Right now, I'm just gonna worry about the fight. I'm not gonna worry about it after it until it happens.
Now, that was the clip that went pretty viral across social media of people mentioning that he's slurring his words.
Is this your last fight regardless of the outcome?
I don't know.
So I should just shit on Stipe because Jon got hurt and not make the fight that he was already supposed to fight.
How is the current state of your relationship with Dana White?
If Stipe wins, Stipe's going to retire. You know what I mean? This will be Stipe's last fight.
I don't talk to him every day. I mean, I don't remember the last time he texted me.
Stipe Miocic might just have CTE. He just did his first interview for his up-and-coming fight versus Jon Jones, and it was bad. You can tell throughout the years, Stipe's speech has gotten a lot worse. In this interview, he's slurring his words. Sometimes it's hard to even make out what he's trying to say. Now, to Jake Paul's credit, he did ask Stipe some pretty good questions, like if this is going to be Stipe's last fight, if he's going to retire after this. And if you think I'm over-exaggerating, just listen for yourself.
Like, I feel like you've been super quiet in camp. How are you feeling? Like, give us a little bit of insight. And I know I hate that question to like fighters, but since you haven't been posting like much and saying much or doing much press, I want to know, like, how are you feeling going into the biggest moment of your life?
I feel good, man. It's a great fight, man. I'm excited. Honestly, it's finally here. It's supposed to happen last year. Unfortunately, injury took it away. But we're here away. We're 3 weeks away, and I'm ready, man. I've been pumped, and I keep quiet. I focus on task at hand. Just worry about my fight, baby. That's all I worry about.
So you can tell there, he's kind of slurring his words. He's kind of combining his words when he's talking here. Now, I know some people might say, well, he's doing an interview. Maybe he's just a little bit nervous. Everyone stumbles over their words from time to time. Hey, I even stumble on my words from time to time. But the interview is going to get continuously worse. And we also have to remember, this is not an ordinary man. No. Stipe is not a normal guy. Stipe's been smashed in the head by some of the biggest and strongest heavyweights for the last 10 years or even more than 10 years. So this is not a normal guy. Stipe has had his head smashed in by Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou. Do I have to say enough? If Francis Ngannou smashes anyone's head, they're probably going to have problems.
Do you think Jon is going to come in and mostly try to grapple, or what do you think his strategy is going to be?
I don't know. I mean, Jon Jones does a lot of things good, but I have great coaches, great teammates, and they'll make you prepared for whatever happens. I'm not going to wait for what he's going to do. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah. No, I think his best opportunity is to try and turn it into grappling, because I believe he could be scared of your striking, because I don't know, like, you've proven that you have that knockout power, and to me, him working with Gordon Ryan kind of symbolizes, that's what he's kind of looking to do in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Listen, doesn't matter where it goes, I'll be ready. Like I said, I have the best coaches, the best teammates in the world, man. They got me ready for the fight. Now I can't wait. Finally here.
As for the fight itself, obviously Stipe Miocic has a puncher's chance. Stipe was one of the greatest UFC heavyweights of all time. I will never not say that, but I think he's screwed in this fight. I think if you compare Jon Jones' last performance versus Stipe Miocic's last performance, there's a night and day difference. Again, I love Stipe, but I think he's screwed in this fight. But I don't even think the fight is all that fair. Stipe is 42 years old, clearly has signs of CTE. Jon Jones is only 37, and he's coming off of one of his best performances.
Is this your last fight regardless of the outcome?
I don't know, man. I say it every time. After every fight, I think about retiring. So, we'll see. Right now, I'm just going to worry about the fight. I'm not going to worry about it after it until it happens.
Now, that was the clip that went pretty viral across social media of people mentioning that he's slurring his words. So let's just rewind it really quickly and kind of just focus in on this clip.
I say it every time. After every fight, I think about retiring. So, we'll see. Right now, I'm just going to worry about the fight. I'm not going to worry about it after it until it happens.
So yeah, they can't tell if you have CTE. until you die. That's the only way they can test you. Obviously, I don't want Stipe to die. Stipe, live your life. I hope you live till you're 90 or 100 years old. But if I had to bet on it, if I was a betting man, I would have to bet that there's something wrong with Stipe's speech. And I'm going to show you a press conference clip from 7 years ago where Stipe's talking fluent. He's talking good. That way you can really see the difference here.
But I thought about it all the time, but I also want to thank him, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here right now. He gave me that confidence I needed, that confidence thing. I could beat anyone in the world. I could be the champ. I could be the champ for a long time. And like I said,
So can you tell the difference? Because I definitely can. Again, this was 7 years ago, UFC 211. He's not slurring. He's not combining his words. You can actually make out what he's trying to say. He also seems faster, quicker, snappier with his words. I mean, clearly there are signs of CTE. I mean, that has to be the only thing I can really think of. And we've seen this with a lot of fighters, specifically boxers. You see them when they're young, they're talking perfectly, and then you fast forward 20, 30 years, and they're fucked up really bad. Again, Stipe's 42. I don't think he should still be fighting at this point, especially when everyone knows he's going to lose. I mean, even UFC president Dana White, he has all his chips, all his money on Jon Jones winning this fight. That goes without a doubt. I think we all know that. I mean, think about how many Dana White, Jon Jones clips that you've seen in the last, 60 days. Countless, hundreds, literally. All right, probably not hundreds, but a lot. You get what I'm saying here. Dana knows Jon is going to win. Easy, point blank, period. And it's even kind of disrespectful for Stipe the way Dana White has been talking about this fight.
I want to ask, I know you guys have had your ups and downs, but how is the current state of your relationship with Dana White?
I'm good. Dana's Dana, man. He's my boss. I mean, I don't talk to him every day. I mean, I remember last time he texted me or he talked on the phone. It's been a while.
So, yeah, I mean, Dana White doesn't even like Stipe. I mean, you heard it from the horse's mouth. He doesn't call him. He doesn't check on him. He doesn't give a fuck what Stipe's doing. Dana's off somewhere discussing Jon Jones and what Jon Jones has going on and how Jon Jones is going to beat Stipe. That's the only thing Dana White is concerned for. He could give a fuck less about what fire Stipe is putting out on any given day. And if you don't believe me, Dana White even says it himself in this clip. He pretty much says he didn't know what to do with Stipe, that he respects him, so that's kind of like the only reason why he gave him this opportunity to fight Jon Jones. Purely off the fact that Dana respects him and Stipe has done a lot for the company. But Dana even knows this is Stipe's last fight. He knows Jon is going to win, but he didn't know what to do with Stipe. So he's just like, we'll throw you to the wolves. Off you go. Off you ride into the sunset. Francis knocked you out in your last fight. Now it's time to use you as a stepping stone for Jon Jones. But here's Dana White saying it himself.
Everybody in this room thinks Aspinall is more highly rated than Stipe at this point. Stipe's reputation is fantastic, but he has not won a fight since he beat DC in 4 years. So that also plays into it, partially a factor, when you have a guy like Aspinall knocking Sergey Pavlovich out in a minute, Curtis Blades in less than a minute, et cetera, et cetera.
First off, shout out to this reporter, Kevin Ioli, for being the only reporter with some balls to actually step up and say anything negative or critical to Dana White. He's literally the only one who dares utter anything that isn't positive to Dana. So just a quick shout out to Kevin Ioli. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah,
that's just me.
No, I don't disagree with you. But here's the flip side to that. So what do? A guy who's looked at as the greatest heavyweight in the UFC, right? This fight set up, Jon Jones gets hurt. Not his fault. He has to wait and go back into fucking training camp again. He was training. So do I just yank it away from Stipe and say, hey, go fuck yourself and sit on the sidelines for 2 more years?
So this is what I'm talking about. I mean, Dana White kind of says it himself here blatantly that, he didn't really want to make this fight happen. He much rather Tom versus Jon Jones, but he was kind of stuck in a tough position, and he had to give Stipe, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, that opportunity, or everyone would say, how dare you disrespect Stipe? Not only that, you know, he's done so much for the company. Let him have this one opportunity to beat Jon Jones. So, I mean, again, Dana knows himself, Stipe has no chance in this fight.
Or you know what I mean? If I did that, you guys would be like, oh, you fucking disrespected the greatest heavyweight ever, and you know what I mean? So would the fucking fans. So I should just shit on Stipe because Jon got hurt and not make the fight that he was already supposed to fight. So I have two legends in the sport that wanted to fight each other. These guys are lined up, one guy gets hurt, and this is the fight that they both want. What you know, what do? You don't show the guys the respect, and I guarantee you this: if Stipe wins, Stipe's going to retire. You know what I mean? This will be Stipe's last fight.
You know, Stipe literally said that him and Dana White don't really talk like that. So how does Dana know what Stipe is going to do after the fight? But Dana's assuming, just like everyone else is, that this is the end of the road for Stipe. This is it. This is his last fight. He hasn't even said it himself. He's kind of saying he doesn't really know yet. I mean, that's literally what he told Jake Paul. But here's Dana so confidently saying, oh, this is Stipe's last fight. You know, it's kind of diminishing towards Stipe Miocic. Dana's pretty much saying, you know, we're just waiting to get rid of this guy, pretty much. We didn't know what else to do with him. He deserved the opportunity, but other than that, we don't really know what to do with him. Feed him to Jon Jones, why don't you? We also have to mention this. This was Stipe Miocic at UFC 295. We're going to play this clip. Just watch how he walks. I mean, he's literally struggling. He's limping. I mean, I don't know if this is a guy you want to send in to go fight Jon Jones, especially at 42 years old. So look, there you guys have it. Stipe Miocic should not be fighting at this age. Hopefully for his sake, he doesn't get knocked out again. I think he's still recovering from the Francis Ngannou fight. I think that's what's actually going on here. I think the only good thing coming out of this fight for Stipe, regardless if he wins or loses, is that he's going to retire and his brain can finally start to recover. And anyone who comments under this video saying, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about, Stipe is perfectly fine. Remember, guys, 42 has taken some of the best shots from the strongest, biggest heavyweights of all time in the UFC. I mean, who hasn't Stipe fought throughout his career? The amount of shots he's taken is insane, and I would be honestly surprised if he didn't have CTE. But once again, guys, it's going down November 15th or 16th. I forgot which date exactly. UFC 309. Get in the comment section down below. Please be sure to leave your prediction. How do you think this fight is going to play out? And as always, if you did make it all the way to the end, please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy this video next.